Hey guys, PGA Tour coach Randy Joyner here with this week's Truth About the Lies. Today we're going to talk about why you as an amateur do not hit it as far as tour players. Now, there can be varying reasons, but I'm going to give you the top reason that I believe players really struggle and why they don't hit it as far as they could with not only their irons but the driver, and we'll talk about that, and I'll give you a drill at the end that you can do to really get better at this.
I'll be coming up hot for a minute. Everybody know the don't be fine.
So, you watch a tour player hit a golf ball. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but at impact, this left wrist is flat with every tour player. Now that's non-negotiable. You can't hit a golf ball like this, but you guys do. You're not going to hit it very far if you're like this. So you see how my wrist is bent? You want to come into impact with this wrist flat because every tour player is here. Now that's true whether it's a driver, an iron, obviously not so much on a bunker shot because you're trying to let the club head go past, but nearly every shot in golf you want that left wrist flat if you're trying to compress a golf ball, which is the first key to distance. Without compression, speed doesn't mean anything. I don't care what anybody tells you. All right, so how do tour players do that? Well, they use their right hand to allow them to flatten that left wrist. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, this index finger, as I get to the top of the swing, the weight of the club sits back on this right index finger. And I'm gonna feel pressure against that as I get into the ball. That's what compresses the ball. I'm putting pressure on the ball. That's flattening that left wrist. So that's what allows, so what I've got in my hand here, I'll hit a shot for you. So this is a 7-iron. That I hit about 175, 180. So to do that, and what gives you that ball first contact is allowing that left wrist to stay flat, but you do it by pushing your right arm through the ball. This right arm acts a lot like a piston, okay? So what I'm gonna have Kevin do, we're gonna get in front where I'll show you what it looks like more with a driver, and I'm gonna talk about where the true distance actually comes from. So now, this is the club everybody wants to hit farther, the driver, and they wonder how tour players hit it so far. Well, you've got some freak shows out there, your Rorys, your Dustin Johnson on the Live Tour. Some of these guys have just hit it forever. So you've got that, but you could hit it a lot farther than you think with a driver if you understand that what you're doing is you're trying to get the ball in the air, and when you do, this left wrist breaks down. So all you've got to hit with is the length of the club. That's the thing I want you to key on. You're hitting it like this, you're leaning back, you're trying to swing up at it. Don't do that, by the way, with a driver. That's BS. But you're trying to swing up at it, and all you've got to hit with is the length of the club because this broke down. What tour players do is they come into impact, they're hitting it with not only the length of the club, but I'm hitting it with the length of my left arm because this left wrist is flat at impact. So I've got the entire length of my left arm up to my left shoulder as well as the length of that golf club. So again, I'm trying to keep my left arm and the shaft one line as I get through impact. So I'm putting pressure against the golf ball. So that'll look something like this. And that's where all the pressure comes from in the back of the ball. Then if you've got some speed with it, then you can get it out there pretty good. If you understand that, that's what's gonna allow you to compress the ball. You're gonna hit it a lot farther. So let's watch that again in slow-mo. Every tour player looks the same through impact. So as you see, as I get the club to the top, my right arm, as we've talked about in previous videos, is taking the club to the top. Right elbow's bent, just like you're throwing a ball. Right wrist is bent back. As I start down, getting into impact, that right arm pushes the club through the ball. Now, I'm not just pushing it, yes, I'm swinging both arms, but that right arm is supplying power against the back of the shaft, and that's what keeps that left wrist flat as you see it impact. Left wrist is flat, then that left elbow just folds up as you're swinging that club in a circle to your finish. And in previous videos, as you've probably seen, we always talk about holding that finish, just as you would throwing a ball with a follow. Now, I promised you I was gonna give you a drill. Here's an easy way to learn this. Take a pitching wedge and hit some little short shots. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take it back where that club shaft is not more than about parallel to the ground. I'm gonna take you see how my right elbow is bent? I'm gonna push my forearm through the ball, and I'm gonna finish with that left wrist flat. You can actually look at it and tell whether you did it, and you'll hear the sound of the compression. Now that ball right there went about 75 yards with a little chip shot. dead out of the middle of the club. This will help you with contact, but this is what's going to allow you to hit the ball farther. If you want distance, stop just swinging at your driver. You look like you're killing snakes out there. Don't do that. Just let it. Learn to compress the ball, and then you build that up. But that's impact of a tour player. That's what allows these players to strike the ball first and then take the divot. If you do that, you will hit the ball farther. Quit worrying about speed right now. Learn how to compress it. Keep that left arm and club shaft in line. You're going to shoot lower scores. We'll see you on the next Truth About the Lies. Don't forget to like and subscribe.